This video is going to give you the tools you need to communicate effectively and make people want to work with you. The sad truth is most people are terrible communicators. My DMs and emails are a great indicator of this. And if you don't know how to communicate, you won't be able to persuade people. You won't be able to get what you want. You won't be able to get people to work with you. Because the cold truth is nobody wants to deal with someone they can't understand or communicate with. So watch this one. It's super important. You need it even if you think you're all right at communication, because the fact is you're probably not. You're probably whack and no one has the heart to tell you. I'm sure the school system is failing a lot of people because the amount of terrible communicators I come into contact with on a weekly, monthly basis it's just amazing. It shouldn't be this way. It should be like 50-50, but it's more like 90-10. Most people are in the 90, just terrible at communication. Walls of text, not able to spell, can't even understand what they're saying. It's amazing, to be honest. The good news is by the end of this video, you won't be a crappy communicator anymore. But before we use chaos as a ladder to get what we're aiming for, I've got a question for you. Question is, what is the one thing you need to convey to get what you want from people? Leave your answers down below. If you don't know, don't worry, because I'll be revealing the answer later on in the video. Just stay tuned. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the 4 books you need to read ASAP. I'll explain exactly why you need to read them, and I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can grab the right versions. Please use those links because it does help out the channel. Then we'll get into the 3 most important things you need to do to be a better, more effective communicator that people want to work with, not just someone people put up with. Before we get into the books, you might be wondering, how do I know this dude can even communicate? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Watch any of my last 300 videos and you'll clearly see I'm good at communication. Even this video should be proof enough. If you learned anything from my past videos, then that proves my point. But that's not all. I've been told by multiple women that I'm a good communicator, and women tend to be harsh judges when it comes to that. But of course, that's not provable, is it? So here's some hard stats. When pitching to companies over the past few years, I've had an 80% success rate. I got FL Studio sent to me for free. I got Studio One sent to me for free. I got Camtasia sent to me for free. I got thousands of pounds worth of Isotope plugins sent to me for free. And I could keep going down the list. There's more and more free stuff that I've been sent because of my communication skills. Point is, I know how to communicate effectively enough that I was able to persuade companies that it was worth sending me free stuff. That's pretty good communication. Let's get into the books. Number 1, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I don't have a physical version of this book because I read it back in the day when I was an officer of the high seas, if you know what I'm talking about. But this is the first book that you need to read. It's not long, it's a short book. I believe it's around 200 pages, something like that. So you got no excuse. And it's super useful. The lessons in it are timeless. The book will do what it says on the tin. It's gonna teach you the basic knowledge you need to know to be liked and wanted. When people like you and want you around, they're more easily influenced and persuaded. Some of you are begging for help and handouts without even trying to make people like you first. That's why you fail. But I'm gonna teach you how to succeed and make people want to help you later on in this video. Now, the rest of the books I actually have physical versions. So first up, we got the 48 Laws of Power. This is a book recommended by rappers, entrepreneurs, and drug dealers for a good reason. It outlines the basic structure and strategies behind power and influence. This book will aid you with gaining power, maintaining power, and learning the game of life. Power can be substituted for the word influence if that makes you feel more comfortable. Either way, this is an extremely interesting and informative book that will teach you a lot of life lessons, and it uses historical stories to back it up, which is always a good, interesting read. Book number 3, The Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr. and E.B. White. This book will teach you the basics of grammar and writing so you can make sense to people. Too many people overlook how important this is. I'm convinced the school system is failing most people because the stuff I get sent to me is atrocious sometimes. I can't believe a human wrote it and not a buggy AI program. Even AI tends to make more sense than a lot of people who are sending me messages. It's a very short book, less than 200 pages. It's got like 150 pages, but read through it and take notes. You need this book. Everyone, you need this book. I haven't even finished reading it yet, but I've learned a lot. It's already improved my writing and communication skills by helping me realize how to avoid misunderstandings and make my writing easily digested. Definitely read that. It's essential. Book number 4, Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. This book is the blueprint for writing persuasively. It will give you the tools you need to make people want to read your writing and want to act. If you want to persuade people in any shape or form, read this book. I know some of you men are allergic to reading, but trust me, these 4 books will change your life. And reading more will also help you get better at communicating and writing. And most of our communication these days takes place in writing, online, through WhatsApp, texts, that sort of stuff. So get to reading. With the books out of the way, it's time for the most important tools, so let's get down to business. Number 1, appeal to self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. This is a rule from the 48 Laws of Power. Definitely read that, but it's 100% true. Big facts. This rule is super important because before you ask someone for something, ask yourself what's in it for them, because that's what they're asking themselves. If the answer's nothing, they won't help you. We're all out here trying to get what we want. The way you get what you want is by helping people get what they want. That's how it works. Instead of asking someone, hey, can you make a beat for me for free or for exposure? Which means nothing to them because your following probably isn't nearly enough to cover the cost of the beat. Let's be real. Put your hands in your pocket and offer some money instead. If you don't have money, best thing you can do is go get some. Yeah? This broke life ain't good for anyone. Stop trying to get stuff for free. Everyone hates that. But in the meantime, before you go get that money, you can offer a service of equal value. Super important that it's equal value or more valuable than what you're asking for. For example, instead of asking for a free beat, you say something like, hey, I can make 10 beat videos for your YouTube and Instagram to help you promote your beats. And I just want to be paid in beats. Are you up for that? Or are you interested in that? Is this something you'd be interested in? Word it however you want to word it. This will get you more positive responses than just asking for free beats. Like sticking your hand out and offering nothing won't get you much because you're not offering much. Always offer more value than you ask for. This makes your offer a no-brainer and easy to accept. For example, when pitching to companies to get free plugins or programs, I'll usually offer a review and a number of videos showcasing the product. This is more valuable than the product they send me because it would cost a lot to hire someone to make that content. And my videos lead to more sales, which already cover the cost of sending me the product. Meaning they get more out of the deal than I do because they get more sales and free video content production, and I'm happy because I get a free product and more content ideas. When I pitch, I'll even give them an example of about 5 different video ideas that I might make around their product. This is also an example of delivering value up front. Super important because before getting anything, before even asking for anything, I've already given them content ideas, already given them value. They can then use those ideas to promote their products by themselves. They don't need me anymore, but obviously it's easier to let me do it for them than for them to go and do it themselves. This means that just by reading my message, they've already gotten value. That's the type of impact you want to leave on people. You want them to want to open your message because they know, damn, this guy just helped me out and I haven't even given him anything or replied to him yet. That's the type of person you want to be in their minds and in real life. A big example of this in action is my partnership with FL Studio. I asked them for a code for FL Studio and I promised to make 100 videos around FL Studio. Now imagine how much it would cost to hire someone to produce 100 videos around your product. It wouldn't be cheap. It will cost more than 10K easy. Even that isn't even scratching the surface. Imagine how much it would cost to hire a video editor, someone to be in front of the camera, someone to film the videos for a year, and they probably still wouldn't put out 100 videos in a year. Let's say 2 years. Imagine that. Probably like 40 grand. Maybe, no, more than 40 grand, because let's say you're paying them 20 grand each a year, which is like basic money. That's 60 grand a year. That's 120 grand over 2 years. That's the value that I'm offering here, yeah? Understand that. FL Studio, their highest cost program is less than 1 grand. So I'm offering over 100 times in value for what I'm asking for. Why wouldn't they say yes? And to this day, I've made over 160 videos on FL Studio and I'm still going and I'm still gonna make more videos. They got a great deal, such a great deal that someone from FL Studio reached out recently and gave me a free upgrade and more opportunities. Best part is I didn't lose anything by giving them such a great deal. I would have made those videos anyway. But like the Joker said, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. Number 2, communicate clearly and efficiently. I've gotten enough messages to know this is a huge problem for most people. Don't waste words or people's time. If you can say it in less words, use less words. Download the Hemingway app or use the free browser version to help you learn how to edit your writing and make it snappier and shorter and clearer. Use PEE paragraphs. This was a basic tool taught to me in school, so I'm always shocked at the amount of people who don't do this. PEE stands for point, evidence, explain. This is the order of priority you need to use in your writing. First, make your point. Then provide evidence that supports that point. Then explain your evidence. Here's an example. Point is, I can help you get more sales. Evidence is, I generated over 15K in sales when I made videos for insert company name here. Explain is, I'll make 20 videos showcasing your product, and I'll link to your product in the description of those videos. This is the same strategy I used for insert company name here. Now here's a music example, because I assume that you're a musician watching this. Point, I'll make 10 beat videos for you that you can use for YouTube and Instagram. Example, here's a link to a few of your beats that are already turned into beat videos. Explain, I can get this done for you in 3 days. All I need for you to do is send me the tagged version of your beats. Now, really the explain is meant to explain the evidence that you've presented, but the examples that I've given will be more common when talking to people and not referencing quotes in books. Also, you need to use paragraphs. So many people send walls of text and I absolutely refuse to read them. Why? Because it shows you're shit at communication and you don't care enough to try to communicate effectively. Paragraphs should have a maximum of 4 sentences. 4. Use paragraphs to break up your writing, make your writing less intimidating, and make your writing easier to read. Care more about clarity and communication than grammar, but you still need to check your spelling and grammar. If you send a message with a bunch of spelling mistakes, it shows your lack of care, lack of attention to detail, and your lack of communication skills. There's no excuse except dyslexia, but even then, words that are spelt wrong will have a red underline under it. So go back and check. It's not that hard. If you're sending messages with a bunch of spelling mistakes, that means you saw that red underline and said, I don't care. This person will decipher what I meant. And that is just hilariously rude. Number 3, be genuinely interested in the other person. This is something I learned from the How to Win Friends and Influence People book. But you can't fake it. You need to genuinely be interested in other people. You need to genuinely become a curious person. If you fake it, people will know, and it will just come off as insincere, which a lot of people try to do. Like, I was talking in Discord the other day and I asked people if they had any questions about promo or how they've been promoting their music. A gentleman posted something along the lines of, this was his promotion strategy, to basically send a few messages to people on Instagram, talk to them, basically have a pretend conversation, and then send them their link. No one wants to be communicated with like that, because it shows that you don't really care about them. You're just waiting for your opportunity to shove your link down their throat. And that's gonna make them dislike you, as they should, because you're a shitty person. Let's be real, that's a shitty thing to do. You need to genuinely become curious about people and what they want and need. Look at things from their perspective. Mirror their communication. If someone says bro, use the term bro. If they say man, use the term man. If they say mate, use the term mate, and all of the above. People like people that like them and are like them. And check out their work. If you're gonna ask them to work with you musically, or you want them to hear your music, you need to check out their work first, properly, and give them some feedback, but keep it positive because you don't know them like that yet. They're much more likely to check out your stuff if they can tell you genuinely listened to their stuff first. And if you want to collab or a beat from someone, or want to work with someone musically in any way, it makes logical sense to listen to their stuff first and see if you even like it, doesn't it? It's just due diligence. What's the point of even engaging in a conversation with someone if you don't know if you like their music? It doesn't make sense. I've had people ask me for mixing and then they ask me for examples of my mixing. Why are you approaching me and asking me for mixing if you don't know that I'm a good mixer? If you haven't heard my music, like, wouldn't you start with the research to make sure that I'm a good mixer and then, or good engineer, and then come to me and ask me to engineer your project? Like, why would you just come to me and then hope that I'm good and then ask for examples? That's just stupid. Do your due diligence first. People like people who do the work, who don't come to them and ask them questions that they could have answered on their own. When people sense that you're a go-getter, they're more likely to want to work with you. Unless they themselves are a lazy bastard too, then, you know, lazy bastards flock together and all that sort of stuff. Don't waste the time of the person you're contacting, and don't waste your own time. Now, it's time to answer the question from earlier. The question was, what is the one thing you need to convey to get what you want from people? The answer is, you need to demonstrate what they get out of it. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. As I said, that's a chapter title from the 48 Laws of Power, and it's big facts. People don't care about helping you or doing you a favor unless they already like you, feel indebted to you, or are your mother, or there's something in it for them. Always start with what's in it for them, and you're more likely to get what you want. Give value before asking for value. Very important. At the very least, offer more value than you ask for. Now let's have a quick recap. Books to get, all linked in the description below. Remember to click those links. Are How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, The Elements of Style by William Strunk and E.B. White, Cashvertising by Drew Eric Whitman. Top tools you need to use are as follows. 1. Appeal to self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. 2. Communicate clearly and efficiently. 3. Be genuinely interested in the other person. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, let me know in the comment section down below. Check out that video next, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.